What she says is so funny, but it's not true. Guys, Black Americans, you need to get out of your mindset that people abroad, whether they're black or white, they're talking about you.
Good people, and welcome back again on another episode today. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing fine. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do so before you go. If you enjoyed this video, and make sure your bell notification is always turned on. You guys, there is this part of a podcast that has been going viral on TikTok. I came across it first on Instagram, then I traced it back on TikTok because I know that is the app where people are going to say their mind whenever and anytime. And this particular video is just about the diaspora war. Like, this conversation comes up every single month with few comments that I read under this video and other people who stick to this video, which I will show you guys before the end of this video as well. I can say that there is no sight of the diaspora war coming to an end anytime soon. Like, this is just the truth, because people always drag this issue every single month. So this podcaster asked the lady on the podcast that what other race or ethnicity does she think is going to stand up if a race war was to happen. I am going to allow you guys to see the video yourself, because you are going to hear every single thing she said and what started this entire conversation.
What other race/ethnicities do you believe would be there to help black people in a race war?
Black American people, because the Caribbeans and the Africans, I don't see them standing up with us either.
Excuse the out of me.
The diaspora wars are already going crazy. It's mad Caribbeans and African people that think that they better than black Americans as it is. So when people from other countries come here, they are already forewarned. Stay away from them black Americans. They're like this. They're like that. There are a lot that will stand up with us, but I'm not counting every single last one.
So what you're saying is there are going to be a group of West Indians who are going to look at a race war and say, I'm from Trinidad. I ain't know what's going on here. But I'm from Trinidad. I ain't know what's going on in Alabama and all them type of thing. Them fellas down there, that's good. I go on right out soldier.
So you guys, that is the video that has sparked up that conversation, and I would like to hear what you guys think about this video, because it really went viral on TikTok. That video had about close to 6,000 comments, and there are so many comments from Black Americans saying yes, it's true, they are alone, even some making videos and saying and agreeing to what she said. When I went through the comment section, I literally want to get like a comment from African people and Black American people, just to know what people are saying. She said no lies, just making comments like affirming what she said. And there are comments of people or comments of Africans saying they literally just return the energy of Black Americans back to them. There's been conversation of Africans, over there as well, talking about how Black American people do not like them. I have seen a lot of this conversation on TikTok. It's always a back and forth conversation. Africans will say Black Americans don't treat them right, they look down on them, they talk to them a certain way, which you guys are going to see in some of the comments that I will be reading. But before that, I would like you guys to hear what the people are saying about this podcast, because I was able to get few stitches of people coming in talking about what they feel about that statement.
And the Africans, I don't see them standing up with us either.
Excuse the
What she says is so funny, but it's not true. Guys, Black Americans, you need to get out of your mindset that people abroad, whether they're black or white, they're talking about you and that they see you as something less than. Because I will tell you, it's not true. It's actually the total opposite. People abroad think of Black Americans as like the coolest black people on earth. You also have to understand that this type of segregation that has happened in the United States has not happened in a lot of other countries around the world. Yes, there is colorism and racism outside of this country, but not as blatant as it is in the United States. So again, a lot of people outside of the United States think of Black Americans as like the greatest thing on earth. Hello, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Jay-Z. Like, Black American representation in the media abroad is not automatically derogatory or demeaning. It's not how they see you outside of this country. The problem is when immigrants come into this country, they don't get the best treatment from the people that they look up to. We come to this country from our country where black is not an anomaly. Being black or being associated with somebody that's black is not something weird to us. What is weird is the treatment that we get from the black people in this country, a lot of times based on our appearance, based on our accent. Hell, based on the fact that a lot of us come into this country and we don't speak English. So when we go through these things in this country, that's when we build the wall. That's when we separate ourselves from some black people. Because this is not everyone, and this is not all black people of United States that do this. But I will tell you that a lot of us have gone through that experience. My first day of school in Harlem, it was not pretty. And I will tell you some of the things that we go through. We get teased. We get our hair pulled. We get food thrown at us. We get people trying to trip us. We get pushed. And when we try to fight back, you know what happens? People try to jump us. So we have no choice but to fight back and be able to survive in this environment. But that doesn't mean that people abroad are automatically thinking of black Americans in a negative way. The problem is the experiences that we go through when we are in this country. And for the most part, depending on the state that you go to, those experiences or those bad experiences are with black Americans. I will tell you, Africans get teased. Caribeans get teased. Central, South Americans get teased. And this is where people or outsiders want the clear separation. So what needs to happen, if you want, is work with your community if you want the support. But again, that's not everyone that goes through these experiences. But yeah, a lot of us do.
Black American people, because the Caribbeans and the Africans, I don't see them standing up with us either.
Quick recap, the question was, if there was a race war in America, who do we think would stand up for black Americans? One of the creators said, hands down, she believes that Africans and Caribbeans would not be there to stand up and help fight, but probably more black Americans would be able to help in this race war. And it's sad, but I agree. I do agree. If you watch the video, she went on to explain about the us and them mentality and the diaspora wars that happen and how some Caribbean and African people feel that they are better than black Americans. This is a really tough conversation even for me to have. I am a black woman, but I am also Zambian, so I'm an African woman who lived part of my life in Africa and part of my life in the U.S. Majority of my life was in the U.S., so in some ways, yeah, black culture has influenced my life in numerous ways, right? But I also do agree that some of our immigrant parents that raised us, y'all know, they was talking mad cash about black Americans. And I'm even speaking from the experience of my African family married into a black American family, and even some of those black Americans kind of started having that us and them mentality, where I remember having internalized racism growing up because of this mindset. This is a conversation that really needs to be had. So I would, if you guys are willing, like for you guys to put questions and topics down in the comments so that we can start this conversation about the diaspora wars and also about the mentality of the us and them between Caribbeans, Caribbean black people, African black people, and African American black Americans. Let's talk about it. It's time.
So I saw this video on TikTok, right? It was this black woman. She was on a podcast, and basically this man asked her, like, what other race of people or no ethnicity of people do you think will fight I think a black American war or something like that, or like a race war or something like that. It was like, she don't think like nobody will fight a war with black people. She feel as though like the Caribbeans, the West Indians, and like African people, like they wouldn't fight for us, or they wouldn't stand by our side because they don't like us. Me, genuinely, I disagree with that. I feel like the Caribbeans and West Indians and Africans and stuff, I feel like they do love us. Especially when black Americans are showing them love, they always show us love back. Me personally, if you ask me, black is black. Caribbean, West Indian, African, Jamaican, a black American, black is black to me. Like, I'm not discriminating. I love my people. And also, if they don't like us, because I'm a black American, if they don't like us, they really have all reason to not like us. For number one, we're spoiled. Like, in the United States, we're all spoiled, and we all have, like, access to everything, and we all have opportunity. Like, we have opportunity, whereas though people like in the Caribbeans and stuff like that, they don't really have as much opportunity as we do in the United States. And for that reason, we always assume like we're better than them just because of that. Two, we're always making fun of like Africans and stuff. Like, we're always like, oh, you could feed a African for $1, and y'all always writing stuff on the cardboard box with the water, and y'all know what I'm talking about. And number three, look how black Americans act. Like, sometimes we do act ignorant, you feel me? Sometimes we do go over to their countries and think we could just treat them any type of way as how the white people treat us over here in the United States, and that's not fair to them. So it's like, if they don't like us, you can't blame them for that. I just want y'all to know, like, Caribbeans, West Indians, Jamaicans, Africans, I love y'all, bro. I don't discriminate. I think black is black, and I think black is beautiful, and that's just what I stand on.
Black American people, because the Caribbeans and the Africans, I don't see them standing up with us.
I look like a complete mess because I'm studying, but I just wanted to, I guess, give my 2 piece on this TikTok since it's been floating around. So I have this grievance with the way this young lady answered the question. The gentleman asked what other race of people or ethnicity would stand with black people. He didn't specify nationality, region, anything. He just said black people, right? He said, what other race or ethnicity would stand with black people in a race war? And for whatever reason, this young lady decided she wanted to center black Americans in a conversation. I guess she's speaking from a black American point of view. And other stitches I've seen have also centered black Americans in the conversation. And a lot of the responses or stitches, including this young lady's words, were separatist in a way, because she's saying, black Americans are going to support each other because Africans and Caribbean people aren't going to do it. Like, I get it. That's an idea that has been floating around. There's things that have happened in the past that could verify that and have verified it. But my problem is, don't act like this is a one-sided battle, because it's not. I don't understand why every time there's a conversation about black people, there's a separatist idea, as if Caribbean and African people are off in a corner doing the kumbaya and black Americans are just out in the cold. That's not a thing. Does it happen that people tend to disrespect each other? Yes. African people disrespect Caribbean people sometimes. Caribbean people disrespect African people. They both disrespect black Americans disrespect everybody. And it's just like, that's a thing. That's the world we live in. But don't make it seem like this is a majority thing. Don't make it seem like we haven't played a part or a role in supporting black American people, because when we support black Americans, we also support ourselves. Especially black immigrants who live in the United States, regardless of where they're from. Right? You're saying Caribbean people and African people don't have a history of supporting Americans. However, how many of the civil rights leaders, poets, lawyers, writers, how many of them are of Caribbean and African descent? Like, black Americans love their Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson is Caribbean, babes. Malcolm X is Caribbean, babes. Like, they come from Caribbean backgrounds. I don't get this idea that we don't support you. I get it, history isn't being taught appropriately, but at least do some research before you say some stupid shit like that. We've been here, we've always been here, we've always been supported. Is there negativity that's going around? Yes, it's going from all sides. But every time this conversation comes up, 99% of the time, black Americans are targeting everybody else and then wonder why there's a negative reaction and some wild shit is being said from other people in the diaspora about black Americans. Don't throw rocks and then hide your hand. It goes both ways, and I don't like that this conversation keeps going the way that it does. We're never going to get along
if this keeps happening. I'm just okay.
What do you guys think about what they all said? I did that stitch that way in a way to, hear from someone who supported what she said and from other people who do not support what she said. And there are two people who mentioned the fact, or who made a point around how, some black people, because I'm not going to say all black people, there are so many black people who never do that, but like you can hear from two of those stitches mentioning how these black people sometimes can tease Africans and how they can say, oh, $1 can feed an entire this and that, the teasing, the cardboard thing, because this is one of the most common comments that I came across as well in the comment section. A lot of Africans, Caribbean people in the comment section actually said that these people would throw at them and hide their hand, just like one of those teachers said. And I would like to hear what you guys think, because if we continue to have this type of back and forth, then these people will never get along. Black people, African people, immigrants will never really get along, because if this is the notion that is flying around, then people will always have a reason to step back, because they've heard constantly that these people don't like you, you don't like these people. Like, it's just how I see it. And I would like to hear what you guys think in the comment section. To be honest, there's no need for us to keep pushing a narrative that, certain people don't like certain people and all of that, because at the end of the day, we are all black. Some of the comment that I was able to come across in the comment section, someone said, we are just reciprocating the same energy we get from Black Americans. And that is what two of those teachers actually mentioned, because when conversations like this come up, it's always like they put the African, Caribbean people to be the victims, and they are the bad guy who do all these things, and the other people are just good people, like they just receive this treatment from these African people without them even doing anything. And it's just like some, like I said, not generalizing at all. Another person said the Black Lives Matter co-founder Hopal Tomek is literally a Nigerian woman. Ghana and Kenya have welcomed home campaigns for African American black people. She lied. Another person said, some African Americans treat Caribbean and Afro the same way white people in America treat black people, but you all are so quick to chat. Another person said, we don't think we are better than you all. You all don't respect us. Our people serve you all at these hotels and are treated like shit. What do you expect? So these are the conversation. Majority of the things that these Africans, Caribbean people are talking about is the fact that they get bad treatment from Black Americans, and that is the reason why there is a diaspora war. If you guys listen attentively to what the first teacher said, she said something around that as well, like these people look up to you, and when they get here, they are treated a certain way. I would really like to hear what you guys think about what they all said in the comment section. There is no need to, throw jabs at anyone. It's just for educational purpose. And I hope that one day we come to an end of this, diaspora war, saying these people don't like these people, because there are some people who are happy about the division going on. And this is the last thing as a black community that we need. Like, this is the last thing we need. We don't need to divide ourselves. A lot of good things are going to come if we all can, stand together, stand strong, and stay in unity. But if this conversation keeps coming up and some certain people are saying, oh, these people don't like us, or these people treat us bad, I don't think there's ever going to be an end to it. So I would like to hear what you guys think. Like I said, there are so many black people, Black American people in the comment section as well saying, yes, she didn't lie, she's on point. I would really like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this conversation? What do you think about this diaspora thing? What do you think about the black people saying, oh, African people do not like us, they don't treat us well? And what do you think about African people as well saying, oh, they look down on us, they disrespect us? Like, it's almost like we are literally saying the same thing, because Africans are saying, oh, they disrespect us, like they act a certain way, they feel like they are bigger, they feel like all those things. And then these black people too are saying, oh, they don't treat us well, they feel they are better than everyone and stuff like that. What do you think about all of this drama? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you all so much for joining, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so before you go. Smash the subscribe button and turn your bell notification on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.